Eamonn Holmes' brutal dig at Ruth Langsford with cutting soulmate remark about new girlfriend. Eamonn Holmes and Ruth Langsford split last year after 14 years of marriage, and the GB News star has since moved on with his new girlfriend. Eamonn Holmes has made a brutal dig at his ex-wife Ruth Langsford after reportedly saying that his girlfriend Katie Alexander, 43, is his soulmate. Ruth and Eamonn, both 65, sent shockwaves through the world of showbiz when they revealed they were going their separate ways last year. The former This Morning stars were believed to have one of the strongest marriages in the entertainment industry. However, after calling it quits, Eamonn moved on with relationship counselor Kate, who he has already holidayed in Ibiza with, while Ruth stayed quiet. The pair look very loved up in some recent snaps after attending GB News star Nana Akua's engagement party together earlier this month, the Mirror reports. According to Bella magazine, the dad of four gushed that Katie was his soulmate during the Glamorous bash in London, while also reportedly quipping, "In sickness you find out who is there for you." Commenting on the apparent dig, an insider said, "It was an insensitive comment from Eamonn, but he's smitten with Katie and does feel like she has been there for him through the hard times. That said, it is a kick in the teeth for Ruth because she has been there for him since the beginning." Eamonn is now often seen in a wheelchair due to his chronic health problems after having a double hip replacement and spinal surgery. Meanwhile, Ruth was recently spotted without her wedding ring for the first time in more than a year after the split. There appears to be no turning back for the Loose Women veteran who announced her shock split with her husband of 14 years last May. A source told OK that ditching the ring after such a long time was a significant move on Ruth's part. The insider close to Ruth said, "Removing that ring might have been a shock to fans, after she's worn it for so long. But it was the final bit of closure. It was a message to Eamonn and symbolic that Ruth's marriage and that chapter of her life is over. She's closing the door on her past for good. Taking it off," is Ruth saying, "I've moved on, it's all behind me. She's just desperate to get this divorce out of the way, now. There's no turning back." Ruth, who shares 23-year-old son Jack with the GB News star, posted a recent Instagram video which showed her making one of her favorite summer dishes, a colorful, no-cook salad. It's not the first time the star, who is now locked in a divorce battle with Belfast-born Eamonn, has shared her cooking talents on social media. However, it is the first time she's done it after quietly removing the wedding ring on her left hand. Eamonn Holmes' dig at Ruth Langsford with brutal soulmate comment. Eamonn Holmes has made a jaw-dropping dig at his ex-wife, Ruth Langsford, after reportedly claiming that his girlfriend, Katie Alexander, 43, is his soulmate. Ruth and Eamonn, both 65, sent shockwaves through the showbiz world when they announced they were heading for divorce last year. The former This Morning stars were thought to have one of the strongest marriages in the industry. However, after calling it quits, Eamonn moved on with relationship counselor Katie, who he subsequently took to the party island of Ibiza, while Ruth stayed silent. Eamonn and Katie look very loved up in recent snaps, having attended GB News star Nana Akua's engagement party earlier this month. Mirror's Daily Digest. Top 5 stories you need to read tonight. In this Tuesday's Mirror Daily Digest, we've pulled together the biggest stories of the day, from Lucy Letby's prison junk food splurges to Eamonn Holmes' latest dig at ex-wife Ruth Langsford. Welcome to the Mirror's Daily Digest, where we pull together all the best stories of the day from our news, showbiz, sport teams and more. This Tuesday we're featuring everything from Lucy Letby's splurging on junk food in prison, to Sir Tom Jones' shock gig cancellation. Elsewhere, our royal team shared footage of Prince George holding hands with his siblings on his birthday, while our showbiz team reported that Eamonn Holmes has taken aim once again at his ex-wife Ruth Langsford by branding his current girlfriend his soulmate. Finally, our world news team shared gruesome details of what it's like inside the infamous so-called Dubai porta potty parties. Baby killer Lucy Letby has been heard moaning that she's the fattest she's ever been, after gorging on junk food and quality street chocolates paid for by her privileged jobs behind bars. The serial killer is serving 15 whole life sentences for murdering 7 babies and attempting to murder 7 more while working as a neonatal nurse at the Countess of Chester Hospital. But fellow lags are furious that Letby is raking in the cash through 3 different prison jobs, which she splurges on piles of snacks. Letby, 35, is serving time inside Hemp Bronzefield, which houses the country's most dangerous female prisoners, including most recently convicted baby killer Constance Martin, who took her newborn on the run, and new best friend Binash Baitul, who tortured her stepdaughter Sarah Sharif to death.